Okay. So I'm Melissa. If we've never met before, I am the CEO, the main mentor at Build a Better Bakery. You are here in our teams group, the Bakery Business School. Obviously, so excited to have you in here today. This is where we like to help bakers all over the world, no matter if you're at home or a storefront, start and build your dream bakery. So our mission is to keep it simple with step-by-step access to information and genuine support, which is what we love to do with you every day. Now, let me make sure I can see in here everything that's going on because it is sometimes, okay, perfect. I can see and hear myself. That means if you put a comment in here, hopefully Facebook gods will shine upon me today and I can see and respond to those comments. So keep them coming. I can respond later if I miss them for some reason. Now, today's topic goes behind the scenes a little bit to see if you might be turning clients off. Not your goal, I understand that. It's probably something, it could be something that you're doing and not realizing it. So today I want to hit on three main areas that really any baker should consider if they want to attract and keep clients around. I get a lot of questions about how do I find the clients? And then after that, how do I keep the clients? Because some people will get some orders and then never hear from that person again. And that can also obviously not be good for business, but make you feel a little strange. So I want to cover three things today that maybe you're doing that you could up level a little bit to try to keep those people around. Hey, Kelsey, good to see you. How are you doing today? All right, so Kelsey's here live. She did her hashtag live. If you catch these on the replay, go ahead and throw up your hashtag replay. I'll know that you've seen it on the replay. If you like this kind of information, you can check the events here in the group, although I do not get around to posting these super early. So you can just find me here every Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You know I'll be here talking about something baking business related. You can also send me a friend request on the platform on Facebook, Melissa Fryer. I'll accept it, and then you will get personalized invites to these events when I make them. You can also join our email list right on the website for weekly replay links and other resources sent over when I decide to send out update emails. So you'll see all that info coming to your inbox if that's easier for you to deal with rather than trying to deal with stuff on Facebook. Okay, so I doubt any baker who is out there trying to make an impact or an income from their baking. I doubt they want to be turning people off. I really don't think that's anyone's goal, right? You want people to come towards you, not move away from you. But honestly, if you're just getting started, if you have trouble kind of putting yourself in the client's shoes, it's possible that you're accidentally doing, saying, or missing things that make it harder to attract and keep clients around. And you just, you know better, you do better. Sometimes you don't even realize that's kind of happening in the background. So that's why we're going to talk about all this today. Excuse me, my little hair back there, I can feel it. Okay, so in today's session, I want to also give you some real world examples from when I've purchased items here in my tiny little military community recently. I want to tell you what they did and how you can do it better. Essentially, I'm going to give you some ways that you could change that situation if you're doing something similar to be better. Okay, so let's hop right in. Again, if you have comments, put them in the comment box. Number one, make it so stinking easy, like so easy that people are not going to have a ton of questions. When you think about your ordering process or how to find out how to buy something from you, right? To figure out how to patron you, maybe that's finding your store hours. Seriously. Maybe that is finding your location. Maybe that's using your website or knowing what the website link is. Maybe that's sending you an email. Whatever it is, make it so easy that a person with 2 to 3 seconds of attention span can start the process and know what to do, because that's a reality of online use. People will come in and have 2 to 3 seconds to be pulled in by something that you've posted. That's not good. That's not a good thing as a business owner to have in front of you, but that's why we have to make this super easy. Make it so that a person doesn't have to scroll more than twice to know what to do. Make it so that a person who's extremely tired and distracted knows what to do. These are all real world timeframes of how humans use the online world right now. That's just what we're dealing with. So make it so easy for them. This could look like maybe you want to add a banner to your business page with ordering information. That means they don't have to scroll and they'll get it within 2 to 3 seconds when they hit your business page. Maybe this means you're going to revamp or set up a simple website to catch orders and contact information. This is you sharing a URL onto a post. They do one click and they put the information in, or they do one click and they see what's going on. It saves you, honestly, a lot of time to set up these kind of easier pathways for clients. Number 3 could be maybe streamlining your menu so people aren't getting overwhelmed. There is a psychological issue where if there's too many choices, people shut down and they go away. So there's things with your menu that could be turning people off. Number 4, maybe you're setting up your auto messenger to deliver frequent Q&A answers, questions and answers. They have some interesting options you can set up with your Facebook Messenger so that people can get that information right when they click on send you a message. They don't have to wait for you to show up. They don't have to search your page. It's just right there. Literally, what's the menu? What are the store hours? How can I place an order, etc. Right? That's a really good way to funnel information. Or maybe just being very clear, super crystal clear about payment options, pickup schedulings, etc. So there should not be a guessing game for your clients at any point of the process of working with you. I have found that to be extremely common working with people, even storefronts. It's like they don't want to give me the information, and I feel like that's really weird. So I say, you take charge and make sure they have all the info they need up front. So even if they miss something, you know that you've given them everything they needed and they're just there, they're along for the ride. You're there to take charge and lead them through the process. It can be automated or unautomated or whatever, but you need to take charge. So the point here is that people are low energy and low brain power most of the time. When they are on social, if that's where you're doing a lot of your posting, or they're in their car, they're distracted and they're overwhelmed. There's just a lot of noise in our environment right now. So make sure they know how to work with you, or else they won't take the time to figure it out because they don't have the time. So they're just going to go to someone else that asks them for less energy in the process, right? So take charge and make it about them. Here's that real world example that I want to give you about this process. There's a person here selling items that look really nice, okay? But for some reason, every time they would post about it, I would think to myself, that looks really nice. But I could never understand how to order from this person. It was very awkward. I don't really get it, and I still don't really get it. So I finally found a menu to look at that I had dug through their information and finally found the menu, but it was out of date. So when I finally messaged to say I want to place an order, we had to have this whole conversation about how the menu was out of date. They don't have this, they're out of this, this thing broke, XYZ. And then, oh, how much is it? I don't know. It's not on the menu. How do I pay you? You know, it was a lot of conversation and honestly, a lot of their time dealing with me. So that was like 8 steps that could have been completely removed if they had just shared a current menu, the payment option, and then told me to message them to let them know I wanted something off the menu, right? If I have to message them instead of using like a website or something similar, that's okay. But I really think that the steps need to be broken down smaller, not broken down, but minimized. So there's not all this conversation going back and forth, which confuses people and turns people off, right? People want it to be easy. So making it easy, as I mentioned, it will save you time too. That's kind of the beauty of it. This might be something that you could start working on and save yourself time down the, it might take time up front to get it set up, but it'll save time as you go. Hey, Lucy. Hey, Allie. Good to see you. Okay. So last year, our team showed a group of very lovely bakers how to do multiple things with a menu. We taught them how to brand it, how to take photography for a menu specifically, how to set up what the information in the menu, what actually needs to be in there using the free Canva platform. And that created menus that sell and stun based on psychology and expertise of menu placement, right? So we gave them all of that information and it was turned into a sweet little mini course. So this is for anyone who missed that last year and wants the information. I am definitely running a special in a few days. I think it goes on, forget now, I think it's next week. And so there's going to be a little bit of a special pricing on it for a week. If you want me to tag you in that special offer post when it actually goes up, just comment menu or DM me and I will tag you in it so you can take a look and check it out and see if that can help you make things easier for you and your clients, attract more clients, and stop turning them off with confusing menus, right? Okay. Number 2, make it personal. And I don't want this one to scare you off the bat. I'm not saying, hey, be best friends with each and every one of your clients. We don't have time for that. We don't have room for that. Totally get it. That's not what I'm saying here. But it is true that if you want to snag on to more people, once you've made it easier for them to approach you, which was step 1, you'll need to start a caring relationship, business-centered caring relationship with them. Here's a real world example. I recently messaged a person here in my community who is selling some items. I sent a message and I went back and I checked my messenger. This is exactly what I said. I said, hi, I'd like to pre-order, because they had a post that went up that said, here's what you can pre-order, which was great, and had the items. And so I listed out the items that I wanted and asked if they were still available. So I did a ton of work, right, to try to like get into her messenger. So I did that, copied and pasted, all that kind of stuff. The response I got back was, quote, pickup or delivery, question mark. Okay. So is this wrong per se? No, not wrong. I mean, she's responding right away. We began the conversation. So not bad, but remember, this is the very first time I'm communicating with this person. I don't know them at all, never met them, never had their items, and I've never sent them a message before. It's the very first contact I've ever had with them. And I'm about to give them money to eat something that they have made from their home. And that's like an intimate transaction. So I would have preferred something like, hello, Melissa, so great to hear from you today. I would love to get those items ready for you. That would have been a more of a, like, doesn't that feel different rather than pickup or delivery? Like the anticipation of like, oh, we're going to start this business relationship. Like, I'm so excited to hear that you want to work with me. And yes, like, let's do this. So, and just to note, that's how I respond to people. So I just like wrote out what I would have said. It's just a little more caring, right? It's just a little more like, I'm thinking about you now and how I want to have you around me in the future, right? I'm laying the groundwork for something more long-term. So imagine you're in, you have a counter, you're set up your little counter at your sweet little bakery. Okay, you got a storefront, you got a little bakery set up. A new person that you've never seen before comes in, right? You've attracted them, they've come in on their own. They walk up to the counter. Would there be like a hello or how's it going or something to like kick it off rather than what do you want, right? We want to like butter up the situation just to help people feel comfortable with us. So probably if you had your little counter and someone walked up in real life, you would have said hello or something similar. So try to use your social interactions the same way. Try to imagine how would I respond if this was in person, to help create those relationships. Okay. Remember that asking for feedback, any kind of feedback, involving them in your business developments, people like to hear about that kind of stuff, and working with them to make your business what they want, as far as you can do it, as to what they want, is very important to relationship development. So if you're not really involving anyone around you in what you're doing, you're missing a huge part of that business building relationship. Do you have to do what they say? Absolutely not. But what I think is beneficial is asking them what they want so that you can figure out how does that work for me and how can I make something that's close to that or similar or exactly that, because those clients are the people you're serving, right? When it comes down to it, what I've experienced over the last 16 years is you aren't going to have a successful business if you're only making what you want to make. That means that I could love making pies and I can hate making cocoa bombs, but guess what? Over the holiday season, cocoa bombs are what people want. I don't know if that's actually going to be true this year, but cocoa bombs are what people want. That's what sells, and that's what people want to put in their stockings. So I can make pies all day long and not sell any of them, or I can make some pies and some cocoa bombs, I'm attracting people in with the cocoa bombs, even though I'm not necessarily in love with making them. Maybe they'll buy some pie too, which is what I actually like to do. So there has to be some market research. There has to be some understanding of what are people interested in, because it might not be what you love all the time. And if you're kind of a super heavily creative person who's not okay making things you don't like, that's fine. I'm not sure that, I think you'd have to find a really specific niche that people jump into to work in that area only. I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just saying that sometimes you're going to be doing what they want to run your business rather than only the things that you want to do, but you need their feedback to know what that is, right? So involving them is always a good idea. Here's some tips on involvement. Use their name whenever possible, right when you respond to a message. Maybe you want to consider adding a little personalized handwritten note with an order. For any of my orders that are over like around $200, I'm always writing, I can show you. I got these cards printed at Vistaprint. So it's got my info. It's got some photos of, some photos I like of things that I've done. It's technically a postcard, but what I do is I give them some information here, QR code to go to the website. And then over here, I write a personalized note with their name, thanking them for their business, giving them a little well wish for whatever the event is. That's all it is. It's nothing really complicated, but it is something that I think adds, a little something. And you could just use a regular note card or a piece of paper or whatever. It doesn't have to be like a printed thing like that. You could also consider throwing samples with their order to get their feedback. Literally, if you have a little extra of a thing, throw it in a baggie, say, hey, thank you for your order. I really appreciate your input. If you can, because they might not like the item, but say, if you can, would you try this Rice Krispie treat and let me know what you think, like real feedback, good or bad, let me know. You have to be okay with people telling you they don't like stuff, because that's how you get better. Not everyone's going to like your products. You're not going to be able to, make everything specific to every person, but you can get a wide range of, is this item too sweet? Is this too dry? Does it need to be bigger? Do they like the packaging? XYZ, right? Okay, so number 3, always remember that these people are doing you a favor. Okay, like this is a gift to you. They can go elsewhere, right? They don't have to work with you. They can go somewhere else or go without, because what we do, a lot of it is, it's not super need based, it's more want based. So we have to hit on the emotions. We have to make our business conform to some of the things that the audience wants in our area. We need to make it enticing for them, because it's not like paying a water bill, right? It's something that they maybe don't necessarily need. So we need to make it really exciting for them. And because they can go elsewhere, the beautiful part of this is that they're choosing you. Out of everything out there in the world, they're choosing you. So let them know that their patronage is important to you by building on that relationship when you can. Little things here and there, letting them know that they're important. And then lastly, you can extend this concept into other areas. So outside of dealing one-on-one with a person, you can extend it to something like starting a VIP Facebook group for your business. I have that. They come in, they get first dibs on items, on classes, they get a special code to use on the website. They get freebies at my vendor tables. They are my special group of people, and those are my highly recurring clients. They buy from me almost every time I post something. They're there like full on. So I try to make that area special for them. It's just another way of showing them that I care about our relationship. Maybe you want to start an email list to keep people updated and keep people in the loop. Maybe you want to create a posting regime online that's all based on connecting with your clients outside of sales, which is something else that our marketing coach really hits on. It feels a lot better to be online when you work it that way rather than constantly posting sales about stuff. But that's just another way you can build on that relationship. Sorry about that. And get those people excited about being closer to you. So the point of this is, if you want people to approach and stick around, which is important because it takes a lot more effort to get someone to approach after that first purchase, it's a lot easier to sell to them again if they want to stick around, then they need to kind of like you. They need to know a little bit about you so that they feel connected. for whatever reason that is, right? That can be because I'm a gardener, other people who are gardeners like me because of that, and then they buy my baking products. It's like a sideline drawn because I'm sharing a tiny bit about me to see if I can connect with them on another topic, essentially. So give them a few chances to like you. Get out there and give them a reason to kind of get into your world. Make it easy for them to forge that business relationship with you. Take the lead, show them that you care, make them feel important. Now we cover a ton. This was like a drop in the bucket. A ton of strategies you can use for connection, all the way down to how to talk to people, how to get your ideas across, how to deal with difficult clients, the whole communication of sales, the psychology of sales, customer retention strategies, and more, right? We have a ton of information in the Elite program to help you keep on attracting those clients that are going to stay and retain them for the future, so you don't have to work as hard to get the sales, because you're basically selling to the same circle over and over again. As you attract new people, those long-term people stay, and that gets broader so that there's less dealing with marketing because you've got so many clients already attracted that there isn't a lot of trying to pull new people in all the time. A lot of that, as I mentioned, is in the Elite Mentorship program. Now, I'm not going to say that the lowest tier is right for everybody because it doesn't include coaching, but it does give you access to all of this exclusive information that's only inside of our Vault library. And it starts at $39 a month. So if you're making some money or you have money coming from somewhere else and you have a couple dollars to invest in that section of your business to grow your business, customer retention, attract more people, and you want to try it out for a couple months to see what we can do for you, I am sure that you can easily make back $39 if you put into practice what's held inside of just even the customer retention training. I promise that is one, when you go in and can successfully implement what we're talking about, you will see increases in the sales because that's what it's made for. And we have all the other kind of like, not fluff, but all of the other supportive information around that. So you can pop from training to training and get the things that you need set in place for your foundation. And then you can go out and retain all the customers that you're attracting. Okay, let me just check these real quick. Allie says you can order online through a website. Perfect. Oh yeah, so Allie did take the menu course. That's what she's talking about. And yay, I'm glad you liked it. That's one of my favorites because the whole team of our military spouse mentors were in there doing their thing. And that was pretty cool to have everyone together. Okay, so Allie didn't start out selling cupcakes, but now they're a major part of what she sells. Probably, if I'm right, Allie, it's because people have told you they want them, you've seen that they sold, and now you're bringing it in as part of your business because you can see that's a way that you can serve the current community that's attracted to you, right? Let me know. If I'm wrong, let me know. Okay, now lastly, number 3, this one's straightforward. I'm just going to mention this because of my in-person experiences here. Number 3 is keep it clean, right? Not PC, but clean, physically clean. A client is trusting you to make their food with your hands, and cleanliness is just one of those things that we have to try to hit on the mark every single time. That's just part of food sales. So that means no grease prints on the box, no smudging, no ripped lids, no broken bags, no dog hair or smudges or batter on the packaging. Your packaging area should be completely separate from your baking area to avoid this type of issue. And you should have some kind of barrier material that's going to stop grease from seeping into your boxes. If you have greasy products, that could be wax paper, parchment, foil, whatever it is. It needs to, we don't want to see a soggy box. Essentially, that's not attractive, and that's not going to help you attract and keep clients if the packaging looks dirty, essentially. Some businesses can get away with that. Okay, you got a greasy pizza box. It's still not attractive though, right? Like putting that on your lap, you could grease on your lap. There are just problems with certain parts of packaging getting dirty. So basically, if you can, it should look like you can stock it on a store shelf. It should look store ready. Reason being that, yes, this might be something coming out of a person's home. Okay. So it's probably not going to be perfect all the time. That's okay. But many people do have very high standards for their food from outside sources. It's become very prominent, especially since the COVID and everything that's going around. People seem to have upped their illness transmission like antennas, right? And it's a very real phobia and an issue that a lot of people have with getting food outside of their own home. So, and even some of my clients have told me that really, they don't even really want to eat out anymore because that bothers them, and that they work with me and like one other person that sells stuff here, and they're unwilling to touch anything else. Because a lot of people in my community here don't care too much about the packaging or how it looks when you get it, or the cleanliness of the packaging. Unfortunately, it's just the truth at the moment. That could change. So knowing this, if your packaging needs an upgrade, or you're being very careful about or you're not being very careful about presentation, floppy boxes, things that break, drink lids that don't fit, stuff like that, that could absolutely be turning people off. And that's the worst, because they could love what's in the box and in the cup, absolutely love it. But if it spills on their shirt, if the box breaks in their car, if they got grease on their seat, if there's dog hair in their food, all of that is just going to turn them off. So we have to be super careful with this third point of keeping it clean. Real life story. Locally, I purchased 2 kinds of items recently, 2 completely different things. And both of them had dog hair inside the box under the lid. Okay, both of them. So do I have dogs? Yes, I have 2 dogs and they are hairy, but I have a method to keeping their hair away from my packaging. And I also make sure to check the item before I send it out. It can be done. You just got to do a couple things to make sure that's not happening. So try to keep that dog hair out of your box. It's okay. The point is, if presentation's not clean, you may immediately turn some people off, and that's just how it is. And it's not going to feel good, especially if you have dogs who shed a lot and it's really hard to take care of. There are things you can do. You can get them groomed regularly. You can sweep and mop and vacuum before you do any work. You can keep packaging in a completely different room where the pets never go in. There's ways you can do it, right? It's going to take a little more work, but there are ways you can set that up. Inside of the Elite program, we do cover packaging tips, including shipping. So if that's something you're looking into getting into, or you're trying it and it's not working, or you just want to know more about what's that even look like, we cover that in full in there as well. Okay, to recap, make it so easy to work with you. It's like mind-blowing that it's so easy to work with you. That's number 1. Number 2, make it about creating a relationship from day 1. And number 3, keep it clean. Those are the 3 things that's possibly keeping people from continuing to hang out with you. Now, I have a bonus tip that I didn't mention yet, which could also be an issue, and you're going to have to do a little bit of outside work to fix this if it's happening. Find out if people actually like what you're making. Okay. This is scary for some people. I totally get that. But I want you to imagine that if you're making a product that looks okay or whatever, and you think it's okay, and you're trying to sell it, and you sold it to 10 people, and 9 of those people don't like it, and the 10th person likes it, you had 10 chances to create long-term clients, and only 1 of them wants to stick around. So we don't want that to happen. So what we need to do is take some time to do some sample and feedback scenarios with people that you don't know very well. Best friend might not be able to tell you that it's gross. Your spouse might not be able to tell you that it's bad. It needs to be someone who's willing to give you critical information so that you can get better. And I'm not talking about buying reviews. I'm not saying give someone a sample so that they put a review online that they loved it and they got the sample for free. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about info just for you that no one else ever sees it. It's just to make sure that people actually like your products. You want to perfect your products through this process of feedback. So some of the products I bought here, real world, Recently, they looked okay. All right, they're fine. I saw the photos, they look fine. But the profile was so super weak. Like, don't like it. It wasn't yummy. So I left it on the counter and then I threw it away after a couple days because I realized no one in my household, I have a 6-year-old and a husband, and nobody wanted it. So I threw it away. I know I can't be the only one who thought that. I know that it's impossible that I'm the only person that did not think that that was yummy. So if this person had done some critical taste testing, some feedback, etc., for me or other people, they would know this instead of them selling items to clients, which they've been selling the last few weeks. So many people have come in and tried this product. And a lot of them probably think it's subpar because of the flavor profile. And that could turn them off for the future full time, right? So if they had done a little bit of this beforehand, they would know the answer to, we need to work on the profile a little bit. So even if you're nervous about hearing feedback, which is common, know that this is just part of your job. If someone doesn't like a recipe, you can change it. It doesn't mean that you're bad. It doesn't mean that your products are bad. It means there needs to be some work done to it. We need to move a couple little things around to make it yummier. That's it. Everybody works on their recipes. I have to come up with 2 new recipes next week. Everybody's making recipes all the time. Okay, so don't feel bad if they don't like it right away. We can fix it. And you don't want to waste your time on weak items. Like, why? Why would you do that? And you're losing the chance to snag those clients for the long term if you're not willing to make it as good as it can possibly be or continue to tweak and change things. Now, if you need help with recipe balancing, flavor profiles, or creating recipes from scratch, the Elite program has that too. Can you believe it? We seriously have like over 100 hours of content that we've compiled over 2 years, up for grabs 24/7. If you're a member, you can just soak it all up whenever you want, anytime. There's a full training on the science behind baking, which you might need a little refresher on that. Flavor balancing, which is so fun and interesting, and more. And I actually had someone who was an Elite, I think last year. She said, if I had found you before culinary school, I could have saved $3,000, or maybe it was 30,000. Might have been 30,000. I guess that's how much, it's probably how much she paid to go there. And she was just saying, they didn't really talk about any of this. I didn't really understand how to make a recipe, etc. So it was quite the compliment, and I appreciate that. And that's in there. That same training that she watched is in there for you right now if you want it. Okay, let me look at the comments real quick. All right, Allie is just repeating that, yes, I was right, thank you. And I'm glad the cupcakes are working out and you're able to make them and people enjoy them, and then you can start creating the income and sales that you need from the product that they told you they wanted, which is great. So after all is said and done, get out there, make your business more attractive, fine tune a couple of things that we talked about today. My DMs are always open. Some people don't accept messages. I do. You can tag me in the group if you want to post about something. You can send me that private message if you want to talk. That's why I'm here. That's why I do this. It is to create that relationship with you because I know that you're here and needing some assistance. That's my job. So let me know what I can do. If you have questions, if you want to join the Elites and get some of that information under your tool belt this month, if you want to get that menu course that has the special promotion, I think next week, send me a message. You can comment here and let me know. I can tag you in that information. I can also just send you the simple links that you might need to get more information about whatever you're dealing with. We have some resources on the blog as well, which are up on the website right now. I can link those too, depending on what you need. So I'm here to help. Okay, hey, Sarah. All right, that's it for me today. I'm hoping that maybe you can let me know which one, 2, or 3 was the most interesting for you or something that you want to work on right away. And we can chat about where you're at and how to do that. Okay. I'm off to pack up orders for today's delivery. So I'm going to go finish that up and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.